Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Lakers get the in-season tournament victory, championship victory, got the cup. Congratulations to my squad. I could not be more pleased at all. The energy was infectious out there from start to finish. Although the referees were giving us hell, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, Cam Reddish, they all showed up in spectacular ways. And couldn't be more pleased, man. This is unbelievable, to be honest with you, when you consider the line that Anthony Davis ended up ending that basketball game with: 41 points, 20 rebounds, 3 blocks, I think 5 assists, several steals, high efficiency from the free throw, high efficiency from the field goal. He was unbelievable, and the sad thing is, it doesn't count. It's not gonna go against his season stats at all, and he's only the third Laker to ever have a line like that: 40-20 in a championship one and done type situation. Unbelievable. LeBron James gets the MVP of the entire tournament, well deserved. Although it was kind of awkward seeing him get the hoist the MVP trophy after AD did that. But we can't forget what LeBron James been doing all tournament. The Lakers go completely undefeated, 7-0 in the tournament. Get the $500K for each and every player, each and every coach. Congratulations to the guys. And his game was something else, man. The referees did not want us to win this basketball game, man. They were doing every single thing they could to keep the Pacers close. But we continued to pound the Pacers on the inside, man. Paint points. I think we walked out of there with 83 paint points or something like that to their 44. Salute 44 once again. It's one of those situations where I really genuinely think if the Pacers didn't get to the line 28 times, we would have blew this team out in a very, very spectacular way. This game wasn't close at all if they weren't simply getting all the easy touch fouls, all types of fouls that they weren't calling on the other side. If you ask me, they tried to keep this game close and failed to, quite honestly, because that's how dominant my team ultimately was tonight, man. I can't say enough about Cam Reddish. Plus 23 or 24, something like that. 3 blocks on the night. I mean, he was locking people up. Anybody you put him on, he was just dominant defensively. Austin Reeves came out of there with 28 points, 22 in the first half. He was spectacular, especially in that first half, man. We could not get any of that done without his offense as they were continuing to call fouls to send his team to the line. He made up the difference with his play, and he wasn't feeling well. So this was his flu game, and he definitely showed up and showed out. I thought Max Christie played some good minutes, even though he made a couple mistakes. He should have took a certain shot that he didn't take, passed the ball to an inbounds, not an inbounds, but passed the ball to Anthony Davis before he got over the line. Turnover, definitely some confidence type stuff that he's gonna have to work through if he wants minutes throughout the course as the season progresses. Because this type of stuff make coach look at you and say, you know what, your confidence needs to be there. It ain't just about having your mechanics and your speed and all that. You got to have your head in the game when in moments like this. So I'm glad he was able to get that experience, and I'm glad it didn't haunt us. But this is one of them games where you just got to tip your hat at the Los Angeles Lakers. They really showed the intensity of a Game 7 NBA championship situation. And I know Adam Silver is very pleased because of the type of intensity both of these teams brought to this particular basketball club. The Pacers were not like the Pelicans. They came to play. I told y'all that TJ McCollum was going to be a problem. He showed up in the fourth quarter, got one of those steals on the inbound like I told you he would, got offensive rebounds and stuff like that like I knew he would, and had a massive impact on this game. Aaron Naismith, man, that dude is tough. Some of the falls he was taking, jumping back up, getting to the cup, taking it to the Lakers. I thought he stood out. Tyrese Halliburton, I believe, had 20 points, 11 rebounds, but we did force 3 turnovers, which is spectacular considering he's one of the best players to never turn the ball over in the game today. I thought we put fantastic defense on him, from Vanderbilt to Cam Reddish. Everybody was throwing looks at him. Fantastic stuff. I thought Taurean Prince continued to play very well for us. Hit a big corner 3 that stood out in the fourth quarter. To keep the lead from closing in, but we kept blowing those leads. We would end up going up by 11 and they cut it to 3. We'd go up by 8 and then they cut it to 5. It's that kind of stuff. It was just very difficult to keep a lead in this game. And I think most of it had to do with the officiating, but a lot of it also, of course, had to do with the Pacers and how quickly they score. Guys like Obi Toppin were continuing to hit big shots after big shots throughout the course of the first quarter. second quarter, in the first half, you could just see how Toby's 3-point shot was really falling for their team. So this is one of those games where their others weren't really that great. Ben Mathurin, I thought, had a good fourth quarter, but other than that, they had a cold Belly Yield. He pretty much didn't have the type of game. Bruce Brown rather, did not have that type of shooting night. He was very cold. Miles Turner didn't really have that kind of night, although he hit some big threes in the fourth quarter. But you could tell that the defense that the Lakers were playing was really disruptive to the Pacers and put them in a position to kind of have them on their heels a bit with their efficiency. They shot below 40% from the field, below 30% from the three. And if it wasn't for those free throws, like I said, they would have been out of here. So this was just a testament to the Los Angeles Lakers' length, active hands, energy, and overall basketball IQ on the defensive end. We really just took it to this team. And on the offensive end, we just didn't shoot threes. I mean, I think we attempted maybe like 9 threes on the game. Hit probably like 1 or 2 of them, and that was it. Other than that, it was all paint points and free throws, man. And so, I mean, I could not be more pleased with the game plan when you consider the Pacers are pretty good, if I'm not mistaken, at limiting 3-point shots. And we don't want to shoot them. So it doesn't really matter. We just took it to them in the paint. And as I told you guys, their front court, especially without, what's the young fella? I call him Sticks. Jalen Smith. Without him, they were really, really thin in the front court. Obi Toppin is not a defensive player, so they're relying upon Isaiah Jackson, who I thought played pretty well, and Miles Turner to stop LeBron James' interior driving and Anthony Davis in the paint. And I just felt like they didn't stand a chance if we attacked them in the paint. They didn't stand a chance if we were aggressive, taking it to the hole, and that's exactly what we did. Bron, I thought, was fantastic. I don't quite remember what his stat line is, but I know he had over 20 points. Didn't quite shoot the 3 ball very much at all. No one did, but it didn't matter because he was playing bully ball, especially in the first quarter, establishing early that this was going to be a physical matchup, that they were going to have to push him out of the way. And I thought the tone was set from Bron from jump, and some of the punishment he took on, we got a little scare there with the knee, but ultimately he was able to bounce back. I think his knee hit someone's shoulder or something on a little kind of funny bang type of play, but he was able to bounce back from that. Anthony Davis got hit as well in some very private areas. Kind of scared us because we thought it was a different type of injury, but ultimately he was fine, able to finish the game strong. So, we took some punishment in this game. Unfortunately, there's a lot of basketball left to play for the season, and I would not be surprised if some guys just simply don't play on Tuesday against Dallas because of just how much punishment they took tonight. It wouldn't be a bad idea to give guys a little more rest. But all in all, the intensity of a championship game, this definitely was. The intensity of a Game 7, this definitely was. It did not disappoint. Everybody played like they wanted it bad. And I think our team really showed that we're one of the deepest and one of the baddest defensive teams. And I mean bad as in good on the planet. Defensively, we just could not be stopped. Anthony Davis's defensive play down there, I think he walked away with maybe 3 or 4 blocks. His blocks were spectacular. He was everywhere. Even on plays where the Pacers scored, you could see where Anthony Davis was able to get out and guard guards, trek back into the paint, guard the paint in the same play. He was everywhere tonight defensively. And then on the offensive end, he wasn't taking no prisoners either, man. Rebounding the ball, as we could clearly see with the 20 boards and the 41 points where he was shooting efficiently from the line, as well as hitting all kinds of shots, especially in that first quarter. A fade away, falling on the ground, shots that he literally never hits, he was hitting in this game. And, as I said, we needed him to do more than 16 points. We needed him to be a high-scoring Anthony Davis because the matchups were there for us, and it's a high-scoring team. So, I couldn't be more pleased, man. I said if we held this team under 107, 108 points, we could win this basketball game. Because at the end of the day, they're not good enough defensively to stop us from scoring. All of that was the case, man. All of that was the case. We were able to defend them, force turnovers against them, although we had 20 of our own. But, all in all, I thought that we did what we needed to do to work into our strengths, score easy buckets where we knew we could, and ultimately fend off those referees, which were intent on making this a very close basketball game. Very physical game. Very, very, very nail-biting, nerve-wracking. as it pertains to just watching what the Pacers were doing in the second half. I thought they were really making a push at the beginning of the fourth quarter to put pressure on the Lakers, but we kept hitting big shots. We kept getting in transition and scoring the basketball as we needed to. And, walk away with the cup, man. Walk away with the first ever NBA in-season tournament championship. And we can just add that to our collection of trophies, man. We got all the trophies in the world. Just add that to it. You know what I'm saying? The Los Angeles Lakers have a lot of work to do ahead, though. But I thought we really grew up some, so got some continuity. Some guys got some real experience. I think a guy like Cam Reddish really was able to display what he looks like in a playoff-like situation, and I think he's here to stay. That's the one thing I could take away from this tournament from the start of the season. We wanted Cam Reddish on this team over the last several years, and I remember telling you guys, doing homework on Cam Reddish when we were talking about picking him up, that I was more surprised at how gifted he was defensively, and I didn't remember him being this gifted defensively when he was at Duke. I knew he was a hell of an offensive talent, but the energy for him was about more so, can he stay focused? He was one of those guys who had all the talent in the world, but wasn't always intent on staying aligned with what needed to be done in a given moment. And that was the critique on him. Could he stay focused? Would he remain wanting it bad enough? And so, his development didn't go as it was supposed to throughout the course of the NBA. His career, these first couple of years with different teams, he had a bad injury in Atlanta, but I remember the game where he had, came off of the knee injury and came into a playoff game and had like 21 points. He was just spectacular. And I just always wanted this player on the team. He's been a journeyman ever since, but I'm telling y'all, man, now that he's here, he's not the player I thought he was, but I like him even more than I thought I would, because he's an absolute and utter lockdown monster. And that is not who he was drafted to be necessarily. But, man, does he help you on the defensive end in ways that, remind me of Trevor Ariza. And just like Trevor Ariza, Trevor was a guy who had been in Orlando and New York and didn't really make a whole lot of noise, looked like a journeyman when we got him. But once he got here, he had a role that made us understand that we wanted to keep him on the team. And we were able to win a championship with Trev. This is another one of those type of situations where Cam Reddish has found a home with the Lakers. I don't think he needs to stop nowhere else. He should be on this team from here on out. And I think that he's firmly establishing that he's somebody who's going to help us win something if we can keep him on the court healthy and he continues to play the way he's playing. Anything he gives you on the offensive end is icing on the cake. But the defensive side, he's just an amazing defensive player. Not even good. It's flat out amazing. And with him, Anthony Davis out there, Vanderbilt out there, you just can't go wrong, man. You can't go wrong with that type of defensive pressure on anybody. And so the way that he played tonight, I thought stood out. And then, of course, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt may just be the best defender of all positions on the floor in this game. He may be the guy where you say, if I had to choose somebody who I feel can guard everybody in an efficient way, it might be Jared Vanderbilt. Because the way that he was playing Tyrese Halliburton just completely locked that man down. It was nothing Halliburton could really do naturally, especially from behind the arc. When you seen him play against the Bucks, you see him play against the Celtics. He was able to, in the fourth quarter, just hit these long three-point shots and get into these dribbling mechanics and all different types of stuff that he usually is able to get off throughout the course of this amazing season that the young fella's having. Against Vanderbilt, none of that was going. None of that stuff was going. All them dribbles, all that stuff, none of it was happening. And you could just tell that Jared Vanderbilt is that elite of a defender, and because he has a long body and the long arms, it was just disrupting a tall guard like Tyrese Halliburton to the point where he just wasn't himself out there with Vando on the floor. So Vando is still trying to work his way back into his shape. He's basically in a preseason form right now, and when he continues to gain his conditioning and his confidence, it's going to be ridiculous trying to score on this Laker team throughout the course of the rest of this regular season. I just am really, really prayerful that we can stay healthy, because this in-season championship has shown me that this team could possibly win the NBA championship. And so that's where my head goes when I watch a game like this tonight, going up against a team that's basically half our age in a lot of cases and are able to dominate them physically and defensively, just stifle them the best offensive team in the league. The Indiana Pacers were held under 110 points tonight in a championship situation for all the marbles. So this is a building block. You know what I mean? We definitely recognize this as a something to win. The whole league was going after it, and we captured it. But it's not the NBA championship, man. If this game were a playoff game, the series is 1-0 with 3 more wins to get. And a lot of energy needs to be exerted in order to make that happen. So we got to continue to develop this team. Of course, health is everything. But now that our team is fully healthy, with the exception of Gabe Vincent, who should be back within a week and a half, I think they said they're gonna evaluate him in a week or so, with the expectations that he's coming back very soon, within like 10 to 12 days or something. I think it's safe to say he'll probably be back by Christmas. We'll really get to see what this team could be. You know, we'll really get to understand what this team should actually be expected to do. And it's scary, man. It's really scary. We're obviously the best defensive team in the league. I don't think it's too many teams seeing us right now. I think of a team like Minnesota, who's playing amazing defense as well, who we've yet to see. But this team is very, very dangerous defensively, and our offense is growing. You know, with players like Max Christie getting more and more minutes, hopefully we can get a lot more out of him. Cam Reddish hit a big corner 3 tonight, so I know we had more than 1 3 because he hit one himself. That's a big point of emphasis for us to try to get him to be comfortable in the corner. And, you know, Vanderbilt as well. Hopefully we can get that shot going. But if we can just get those players to hit those shots, we can be able to keep them on the floor to play defense, and then we can attack teams the way we did tonight and have a lot of success against just about everybody. So, you know, that's what this is about. It's about building continuity, building confidence, you know, togetherness. You know, our guys have had something to root for, a taste of what a championship should be able to feel like. They got a ceremony under their belt, so a lot of these guys know what it feels like to celebrate something tonight, and I think it's going to propel us to what it is that ultimately we can be. It's still early in the season, though, and we have a lot of basketball to play, and this tournament took a lot out of us. So we're going to have to manage our minutes and understand that this is not the NBA championship by any stretch of the imagination. And if anything, it put a target on our back as one of the elite teams in this league. And so that's what I think this tournament really did, is make teams respect us more. And I'm pretty sure Luka Doncic is going to try to come out and score 1 million points on us because of it. But if we play the same type of defense that we did against the Pacers, and, well, quite frankly, since everybody's back, the way we've been playing defense has been stifling. If we continue to do that, we're going to win a lot of games, man. A whole lot of games. And so that's what was really, really encouraging about this particular tournament, man. It's just showing our team, whether we had our players or not, we brought a certain intensity to competitive basketball. When something was on the line, we show what our character is. And I think that's going to translate into playoff basketball. I really do. We just got to stay healthy, keep our key guys healthy, rest Bron a little more than maybe Darvin would probably like to over the next several weeks, so he can get his win back after this tournament, especially this game, which took a whole lot out of him, man. Banging in the inside and falling all on the ground, bumping knees and stuff like that. Bron was a little winded in this game, and it's a little too early for him to be this winded with so much season left. But that's what it's about, man. When it's a competitive championship on the line of any kind, a one-and-done situation, a competitor like LeBron James is going to show up and put his team in the best position to capture that. And that's why I felt like even early in the tournament, I felt we had a good chance of winning it, because that's just the type of competitor we got leading the charge. And then with a guy like Anthony Davis, is so incredibly gifted defensively and so incredibly gifted on the boards, if he gives us nights like tonight, I mean, it's very difficult to lose a game. You know, if you're the Lakers, it's very difficult to lose him. You know, with the additions of the players that we brought in to defend, and the length that we brought in with Cam and certain Vando down there in the situations, and Christie in the situations, and Austin starting to find his confidence, Rui down there as well. I mean, this is a very dangerous basketball club, man. You know, and D'Angelo Russell, some of the passes he was making in this game tonight, I thought were spectacular. Although he's been very inconsistent at times, he hit some big shots tonight, and the passing was there. And he also had a big steal down there that really changed momentum as well in the second half. So, you know, I thought D'Lo played a pretty solid game tonight. And so it was just a lot to like, man. If I'm gonna give the game ball to anybody, of course it's Anthony Davis, man. Although LeBron James gets the MVP trophy of the tournament, Anthony Davis with that 40, 20, 5, and 4, however the numbers was just crazy. It's no question who the man of the night was for this basketball team. He put us on his back on both sides of the floor and played with a certain aggressiveness and intensity and ferociousness that I don't think I've seen very often from Anthony Davis. Not very often. He wanted this cup, and he wanted to have a big to-do with why we got it, and that is exactly what he did, setting a history tonight for our franchise as the third or fourth player to ever have a 40-20 on this team. So congratulations to the Lakers, man. We got the NBA Cup, the first ever NBA Cup. We got medals to go along with it, $500,000 for each of our players and coaches, and that was a raging success for our team and a raging success for the league, man. I can't say that I want to see this tournament go away. I think it should be something that we look to defend next year, and we're undefeated with it, man. What can I say? When the cup comes around, people know the Lakers are the first one who have gotten it, and so yeah, man, this was great. But the season is not over. The season is not over. We will see the Pacers again twice in March. We see them twice in like a matter of like 7 days. So we'll be ready for that at the end of March. And, I don't know that it would be necessary to make any trades. I don't know that, especially when you see a team do this in a competitive situation. The way we jumped all over the Pelicans, the way we were able to stifle the best overall offense in the league, rather. Take care of the Phoenix Suns in the way that we did, holding them under 110 points. The way that we handled the Rockets. I just don't know that you want to break this team up now. Yeah, we're not perfect in certain areas, but the continuity is being built. The understanding that we can defend, and once everybody's on the floor, they all have a specific role to make this thing a contender. I don't know that you move on from certain players and get the same dynamic. I don't know that you're going to make some of those same passes if Zach LaVine's in place of D'Lo. He don't have that passing gene. So it's a lot of stuff you gotta say, yeah, when we're missing certain players, you need certain things for the team that we had. But when you bring back everybody, now you see where maybe those players you want to bring in may not necessarily fit as well as what you already got. Now, I can see the blessing of having a guy like Alex Caruso on this team. He'll help our defense quite a bit. But as far as getting a guy like Zach LaVine, having to go around, give up Rui, give up D'Lo, I don't know if that makes as much sense after what we've seen over the last 3 games and winning this cup. I don't know. I don't know about making any moves at this point, at all. At all. I really don't. I don't think I feel the same way about it. So it's a lot of season left, man. But we took the tournament, and that's something the whole league wanted. So that's really what it is, man. I couldn't be more pleased. Give us our money, give us our cup, give us our medals. This team deserves all of that. We brought intensity to each and every one of these 7 basketball games, and we were the victor in all of them, man. Undefeated LA Lakers. That's what it is, man. I'm pleased with it. I'm trying to figure out if there's anybody else I want to mention anything. I thought Jackson Hayes played some solid minutes when AD sat down. I cannot stress how dominant Austin Reeves was in that first half. That was his season high for any half, or career high for any half, at 22 points at the half, 28 at the end of the game. Young fellow was just spectacular. He kept driving, hitting big shots, mid-range shots, dribbling the ball, and doing all types of stuff. His handle has really grown quite a bit. So I'm excited about Austin Reeves, hopefully bouncing back from the slow start of the season at the beginning of the season, and now continue to, from this point, to be the Austin Reeves that we've known him to be. And we can get his name out of these trade rumors. Just all kind of good, man. All kind of good, man. Vanderbilt and Cam Reddish. If we can keep those 2 players healthy all season long, we ain't gonna be losing too many games, man, with Anthony Davis and Bron James being healthy as well. That defense is just entirely too stifling for most of these guards and most of these forwards in this league, man. They're all gonna have to deal with Rui as well. But I mean, like Vanderbilt and specifically in Cam Reddish, having to deal with them dudes, it's a nightmare, man. when they're funneling you toward Anthony Davis. That's just too much. It's literally too much, man. And you got to deal with Brown on the other end, taking it to you, punishing you. This team is dangerous. And we saw exactly how dangerous they could be in a winner go home type situation. So it's all about health. It's all about continuity. It's all about patience. And at this point, what's going to assist with that is rest. So hopefully we can take it easy, man. Start to lean on more of these role players right now. Get the Jalen Hood-Schifinos worked into the equation, and continue to try to work Vando into it and get Gabe back. These are things that we need to do to maintain the overall health of our squad. And once that happens, it's just about maintaining our defensive identity and our rebounding, identity. And we got to shoot the free throw better. I didn't think we shot the free throw very well tonight. We did get to the line, I think, like 26 times, but I think we shot under 70%. That I got to check the numbers, but we weren't great from the free throw line tonight. So we got to improve there. But all in all, man, you can't take away from the Lakers, punting the 3-point shot entirely and just punishing the Pacers with bully ball all night long, man. Paint ball all night long. Every point Bron and AD scored was in the paint. Both of those players did not attempt anything outside of paint play. Just spectacular stuff, man. So that's what I got to say. NBA in-season tournament champion, Los Angeles Lakers. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.